You've seen it, right? The intense sweeping, the yelling across the ice. But what if I told you that under all that action, curling is one of the most strategic games on the planet? That's why they call it chess on ice. And today, we're going to break down exactly why. So, let's just get right to it. Why would anyone compare this game of sliding a 44-pound granite stone down a frozen sheet of water to chess, the ultimate game of the mind? Well, that's what we're going to unpack. By the end of this, I promise you'll never look at curling the same way again. Okay, so to really understand this chess nickname, we have to start with the fundamentals. Just like any game, we need to know the board, the pieces, and the ultimate goal. The rules themselves are actually pretty simple, but the strategy they open up, that's where it gets really interesting. At its absolute core, curling is a game of position. The main objective couldn't be simpler. Get your stones closer to the very center of that big painted target, which is called the house, than your opponent's stones. That's it. Whoever is closest when all the stones are thrown scores. Every great strategy game needs two things: a clearly defined field of play and pieces that have specific roles. In curling, our board is a long, narrow strip of ice, and our pieces, well, those are the 4 players on the team. And trust me, each one has a very important job. So here it is. The battlefield. It's called a sheet, and it's a 150-foot-long runway of ice. Way down at the other end, you can see the house, our target. But the most important line to know right now is this one right here, the hog line. You have to let go of the stone before it touches that line. That one little rule adds a massive amount of skill to every single throw. And just like in chess, every piece has its move. The lead throws first, they're like your pawns, setting up the board. The second comes next, continuing to build the strategy. The third is also called the vice skip, a really powerful piece that helps map out the shots. And then you have the skip. The skip is basically the king and queen all rolled into one. They call the shots, direct the strategy, and throw the last, most critical stones. So the board is set, the pieces know their roles. Let's walk through how a round, or an end, as it's called, actually begins. Because this is where the whole chess on ice thing really starts to make sense. The opening moves are everything. Now, here's the first thing that might surprise you. You'd think the goal of the very first shot would be to land it right on the button, the bullseye, right? Nope, not even close. The first few stones of an end are almost never aimed at the house. Instead of going for glory, the first player will usually throw what's called a guard. They'll place their stone right here in front of the target in an area called the free guard zone. Think of it like putting a pawn out in the center of the chessboard. It's a defensive setup designed to protect your future shots and clog up the path for your opponent. And right now, your brain is probably screaming, okay, but why not just have the next player blast that guard rock right out of there? It seems so simple. Well, my friend, that's where the single most important rule in modern curling comes into play. It's all because of the free guard zone rule. And this rule changes everything. It says that for the first 5 stones thrown in an end, you are not allowed to remove your opponent's guards from play, period. This one rule single-handedly prevents the game from becoming a boring demolition derby and forces teams to build these intricate, complex strategies. Okay, so let's jump into the mid-game. The ice is getting cluttered. You've got these protected guards all over the place. Maybe a stone or two has made its way into the house. Now shot selection and, of course, the sweeping becomes absolutely critical. At the end of the day, every shot in curling really boils down to 2 options. Are you on offense or are you on defense? An offensive shot is a takeout. You're trying to smash an opponent's stone out of play. A defensive shot is a draw, a finesse shot where you're just trying to gently place your stone in a perfect spot. And this is where you see the incredible skill of these athletes. A freeze, for example, isn't about power at all. It's about amazing touch, stopping your stone so it's perfectly touching another, making them both hard to remove. And then there's the hit and roll, which is just brilliant. It's a 2-for-1 move. You take out an opponent's stone, and your stone then rolls into a better position. It's like checking the king and capturing a bishop with the very same move. All right, we gotta talk about the sweeping. It's the most famous part of curling, and let's be honest, it's the most confusing part for anybody new to the game. What on earth is all of that frantic energy actually doing? Believe it or not, it is pure physics in action. The sweepers are doing 2 really important things. Number 1, they're clearing away any tiny specks of frost or debris. But the big thing, the main reason, is that the friction from their brooms melts a microscopic layer of ice right in front of the moving stone. That little film of water acts like a lubricant. It helps the stone travel farther, and it makes it curl or curve less. It's basically a way to steer the stone long after it's been thrown. All of this, every guard, every takeout, every sweep, it's all building towards the end of the round. It's all about setting up the board for the single most powerful advantage in the sport, the final move. We are talking about the hammer. The hammer is simply the name for the very last stone thrown in an end. And having the last say, the last move on the board, is a monumental advantage. It's the one shot that can change everything, either by scoring the winning point or by clearing out your opponent's best stone. It's the final word. So how do you get this amazing advantage? The rule is simple. The team that did not score in the previous end gets the hammer in the next one. And this simple little rule creates a fascinating, high-level strategic dilemma. And this right here is the ultimate chess move in curling. Imagine this. You have the hammer, but the only way you can score is by getting one single point. You have a choice. You can take that 1 point, but then you have to give the all-powerful hammer to your opponents in the next round. Or you can choose to intentionally not score. You clear the board so nobody gets any points. It's called blanking the end. You get 0 points now, but you get to keep the hammer, gambling that you can use it to score big next time. Sacrificing a point to gain a better position, that is chess on ice. Finally, you really can't talk about the strategy of curling without talking about the unique culture that surrounds the whole game. It goes way beyond just the rules and tactics. It's about this deep, ingrained sense of honor. I mean, just listen to this quote. It's from the actual World Curling Rulebook. There is this deep-seated respect just baked right into the sport. Players call their own fouls. Winning is the goal, yeah, but winning the right way is what truly matters. It's a code of conduct that's just as important as any rule. So when you put it all together, that chess on ice nickname really starts to click, doesn't it? You've got the protected opening moves because of the free guard zone. You've got this constant battle between offense and defense. You've got players literally altering the path of the stone after it's thrown with sweeping. And you've got that ultimate strategic sacrifice, giving up points on purpose just to keep the hammer. So the next time you tune into a match, look past the surface. See the opening gambit, see the mid-game development, see the end-game sacrifices. So I'll just leave you with this question. Are you just watching a game of physical force, or are you actually watching a brilliant mental battle unfolding on a 150-foot chessboard?